Hello and welcome to Coffee with Carey. That's just how it felt going down. Welcome, and I'm Carey. If you're new here, I'm a matchmaker and a dating coach, and I am in Chicago. I live in Chicago, but clients, they're all over the place. And I like to talk here and share with you things that come up with clients, coaching clients, matchmaking clients on a regular basis where I feel if it's happening here or this person has this question, there have to be other people thinking the same thing. Maybe you are that person. So I want to share that with you here. So if that's interesting, I encourage you to subscribe. Dating advice 90% of the time, 99 maybe even. Sometimes I feel something else is important. Did you catch my episode for women about our voices and whether or not we are sabotaging ourselves with certain speaking habits that we seem to have an affinity for? I will link to that here, and after the episode's over. That was sort of interesting and not about dating, but certainly could be used within our dating lives. Today, quick tip. I don't know if you've seen a quick tip before, but it means that I'm going to share a few thoughts I have on a topic. If a quick tip about chemistry sounds intriguing or interesting to you, then stick around because that's what's on the agenda right now. You know, we spend so much time talking about chemistry. Like, what is chemistry? What is this even that we're talking about? I know it's an attraction, but what does it actually mean? Do I have chemistry? Well, who knows? Because there's so many kinds. I talk about you got to show up on these blind dates that I set up and know whether you have physical chemistry, and emotional chemistry, intellectual chemistry, conversational chemistry. It's really all these things aligning and feeling comfortable to you and feeling like this person is on the same wavelength that you are. They communicate kind of coming from the same place so that you have an ease about this connection. That's certainly about emotional and conversational chemistry. Physical chemistry, what is that? Is that just if I want to sleep with you or I want to make out with you? Do I have to feel those things to know if we have a physical chemistry? Can I even tell on a first date? I suggest you may have an inkling whether it's there immediately, but that does not necessarily mean that it cannot be developed as you get to know this person a little better over the next, month or so. I've seen it happen numerous times, so I do not believe you have to have that feeling of a physical desire for this person immediately, because sometimes that does grow out of other types of chemistry. And I think that's one of the things that makes chemistry so super interesting. Sometimes I ask people, when do you typically know whether you have physical chemistry with somebody? And if they tell me they know within the first minute, I say, whoa, wait a minute. That's not chemistry. That's a first impression. And while valid, first impressions are not always indicative of future chemistry. So I wanted to point that out to make sure you keep that in mind. The other interesting thing about chemistry is that just because you feel it doesn't mean that the other person does. I've told the story a few times now about watching The Bachelor, hearing the woman say, we have amazing chemistry. Cut to The Bachelor, he says she's a lovely person, but we have no chemistry, which is the first time I realized that could happen. And now you know too, just because you're feeling there's this draw between you. It feels so animalistic or so natural and mutual. It may not be mutual, just so you know. But I'm happy to say that most of the people I screen when I ask them when do they know if they have chemistry with someone will typically say they can sometimes tell after the first date. And that's the answer I want to hear. That seems reasonable to often know at the end of a 2-hour date whether you have chemistry with somebody. You'll know whether you have conversational chemistry, whether you connect with them a little bit emotionally, for sure intellectually if you're communicating the same way and on the same page. The physical thing, you may have had the feeling that you wanted to touch this person or kiss this person. That's going to give you an idea of your initial chemistry. But again, I remind you that even some of those people who feel that after that hour they were still on the fence, I encourage them to do what? go out again and do something more funner, perhaps. Do something where you can see this person interacting out in the world, not just sitting at a table having a beverage across from you. So there are little tricks too to speeding up the knowledge of whether or not you do have or could have chemistry with somebody. And then I wanted to end this quick tip by asking you, what is your definition of chemistry? If you had to narrow it down and not just list all the different kinds of chemistry as I've done and talk about the chemistry, tell me what it is. Tell all of us what you think that chemistry is. And I will share with you before I let you go, my daughter's her definition of chemistry. She shared this with me years ago when she was a matchmaker, and I wrote it down because I thought that is really interesting. And what it is this, and I have to read it. Chemistry is the subtle balance between physical attraction, mystery, and familiarity. Should I read that one more time? It's pretty good. Chemistry is that subtle balance between physical attraction, mystery, and familiarity. So kind of balancing mystery and familiarity with a physical thing can create chemistry is what she thought. And I just like to think about it. If you found this episode interesting, please give it a thumbs up. While you're there, you may want to subscribe to the channel. We have lots of interesting talks about relationships and dating, and the ring bell will notify you every time I upload a new episode, and that would be super swell because then we could meet soon. Appreciate you stopping by today. Don't forget to leave your definition of chemistry down in the comments, and until next time, have a good one. Stick around because that's what's on the agenda.